everyone, and welcome back. Lately, Stealthy Wood has suffered from organizational issues, especially with its stock and orders preparation. We know that order picking is a crucial aspect of warehousing, but at Stealthy Wood, everyone is running around like headless chickens to find the products for each order, and it's chaotic. Since we want to minimize costs and provide excellent customer service, something needs to be done. Taking that into account, I'll define a set of practices to meet my accuracy and speed targets. Walking from one pickup location to another is said to take up to 60% of a picker's time. Reducing the time taken to prepare an order will thereby improve picking efficiency. To do this, I can choose between two picking processes, batch picking and wave picking. As I don't know yet which one best fits Stealthy Wood's needs, I'll set them both up so we can test. With batch pickings, groups of orders are picked together. With the orders grouped together, even though employees will need to travel to each department of the warehouse, they will go to each location only one time and fulfill multiple orders simultaneously. On the other hand, wave picking consists of picking a specific product. Orders are broken up based on the items they consist of. That means the picker will go to only one location to get all the ordered products under one category and take them to the picking zone. Then the products can be sorted into individual orders. This allows less traveling through the warehouse, but orders will need to be prepared once all products are in the picking zone. One is not necessarily better than the other. It all depends on your company's needs, but let's jump into Stealthy Wood's database and see how they work. All right, here I am on my database. Let's go to the inventory application and get started. So we're going to first start with configuration settings. And on the settings page, I of course want to be sure I have the options activated that I need to go through these advanced flows. The first one will be multi-step routes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and be sure that this is saved, which it is. And then I'm going to jump to configuration warehouses. I'm going to click on my warehouse, edit, and I'm going to change how I deliver my goods. So instead of one step, I'm going to select 2 steps. All right, and we're going to save this. Now our next step is actually to add a couple of routes. But before I do that, I'm going to go to the settings application and activate the developer mode. This is going to let us see a few more options or fields that we wouldn't see otherwise when we were creating our routes. So let's go ahead and click on activate the developer mode. Then we're going to jump back to inventory and we're going to go to our routes. So let's go to configuration, routes. I can also access our routes for specific warehouses as well, since I only have one warehouse. That will be all of my routes, but I can go to the warehouse and then click on routes here. All right, so I'm actually going to select my deliver in 2 steps. Okay, and then I'm going to click on edit. All right, so here I want to be sure I have the sequence set to 100, which I already do. And then once I do that, I'm actually just going to duplicate this. So let's go to action, duplicate. Now the sequence is actually one of those fields that we don't see when we're not in the developer mode. So that's a good example of why we need to be in the developer mode for this flow. All right, so now that I've duplicated this route, I'm actually just going to change the route name. So I'm going to call this chairs. All right, and I want to be sure I have product category selected as well as the warehouse. Okay, and then for the rules, I'm going to delete this last rule and I'm going to modify the first one. Okay, so instead of pulling from the warehouse stock as the source location, I'm actually going to choose my chairs area as the location for my chairs route. Now I have already created that location, but of course you can create your own locations. Okay, you can do that from configuration locations. All right, so now we're also going to change the propagation. So I'm going to change this to fixed. You also won't see this section if you're not in the developer mode. So be sure you're in the developer mode. And then I'm going to add a fixed procurement group. And of course, it's going to be chairs. I've already created this, as you can see, but you can easily create one on the fly. All right, now let's save this. Save the route. And we're going to duplicate this up. I'm missing a step before we duplicate. I want to be sure I change the sequence. I'm going to change it to 5 and then I'll duplicate. Okay, let's now change the sequence before I forget again. And we're going to rename this. This will be drawers. And we are going to modify the rule, but be sure you have product category selected as well as the specific warehouse. So let's go ahead and open this up. Of course, we don't care about the chairs area. For this route, we want the drawers area. And for our procurement group, let's choose drawers. And then we're going to save and save again. All right, now that we've done that, now that we've created a couple of routes, we actually want to apply them to the product categories. So I'm going to go to configuration, product categories. I'm going to go to my categories, chairs and drawers that I've already created. And of course, I'm going to apply the corresponding route to this category. So for drawers, drawers, chairs, chairs. All right, let's go to chairs now and select that route and save. All right, so I've applied the route to the category, but I also want to be sure I have my product categories so correctly applied to the products. So for example, we can go to master data products and I will go to my office chair. All right, and here I'm going to see that the category has been correctly applied, but just know you do need to be sure you have them applied to the product as well. All right, so now let's actually jump out of developer mode. So we're going to go back to settings and I'm going to deactivate the developer mode back at the bottom, exactly where we activated it. And then we're going to go to sales and I'm going to create a sales order. All right, I'm going to choose products that have those categories where the routes are applied. So let's choose one of our customers, Marie-Aline, and I'm going to add my office chair. And I'm also going to add a drawer. Okay, let's say 2 of each. And then we're going to save this and confirm. And let's go ahead and create another one as well for another customer. So I'm going to choose Adrian. Let's do office chair and our drawer. Okay, 1 of each this time. Let's save and confirm. Now we can actually check out our pickings because we are going to deliver in 2 steps. So I'm going to go back to the inventory application and I'll have those pickings here. All right, so if I click on the pickings, I'm going to see that I have 2, one for my drawers area, one for my chairs area. So if I click on drawers area and operations, I'm going to see I have a demand of 3 drawers. So 2 for Marie-Aline, 1 for Adrian. Okay, it will be the same for our chairs as well. Okay, for the chairs area, we're going to have a demand of 3. All right, so that's just a really great tool to use. That's wave picking. But what about batch picking? We're going to go back to configuration, settings, and be sure we have the option activated for batch pickings, which is at the top, and I have it activated already. Then we're going to go to operations. Okay, and we're going to click on batch transfers. Okay, let's create a new one, just as simple as that. And we're going to choose a responsible. So I'm going to choose myself. And then I can go ahead and start adding some pickings. So what's really cool here is I can actually group by certain things. So let's go ahead and add a custom group. Let's say source location. Okay, so if I want to choose a responsible to go and pick based on the location so they aren't running around everywhere, that's a really good option. But as you can see, you can group by many other things. So don't forget that you do have these custom groups. You don't have to only select the first items on this list. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and just select a few here. All right, so I'm going to click on select. All right, I have those 5 items. Now what's cool here is I already see the status. So I see what's ready, what's in draft. So I have that there. And then I can also modify a few things here if I want. So for example, if I want to cancel this picking, I can simply click there. If I want to remove it from the list entirely, I can close this. Okay, so let's do that for both of the draft pickings. And then I can confirm this and print. And then I need to save the layout of my document, of course, in order to have a nice template. If you haven't done it already, you'll get a pop-up just like I had. And then we're going to get a PDF. We're going to be able to open it and have this really nice list of our pickings. All right, so that was it for batch pickings and also wave pickings. As you can see, it's extremely easy with Odoo. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. And if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.